tell me this. Do you remember yesterday when I was super motivated to go to the gym and I arrived there and it was closed? Today, also super motivated. Wake up at 5 a.m., laze around a little bit, show up to the gym around 6, which is way too late, but I'm motivated. I got this. I'm gonna do this anyway. Everyone's outside and there's a fire truck. So in some ways, it's a bit of a bummer because if I had gone to the gym when I was supposed to go to the gym, number one, I would have probably finished my workout, and number two, I might have been able to see what the heck happened. However, if it was a medical emergency, I'm glad I wasn't there because I can't handle that stuff. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear it right now, but there's like loads of sirens. So there was that one fire truck, but now I'm just hearing loads of them from different directions. So I don't know if it's an ambulance also coming, a fire truck, who knows. Usually multiple emergency vehicles come, whether it's a medical region or a fire, whatever. So once again, I'm in the dark, walking around my apartment complex, listening to a book on witches, which is not actually scary, because it turns out it's a memoir, and so it's really feminist and really interesting. So far, I have no idea what prompt this is going to work for, but it's around 6 hours long. So by the time I finish it, I'm hoping that I will be able to steal a prompt from another team, and that will give me more variety on what prompts I can mark it down for. Okay, so today is Neon Day at school. What? It's gonna be epic. And also look at my socks. I have about 25 minutes until I need to leave for work, so I'm just going to sip my smoothie and read. Last night I actually started a different book than the one I talked about previously. Basically, I went to Barnes & Noble Saturday and I just want to read like what I got there, and I've never just like gone to the bookstore and then actually like read everything that I purchased within a few days, and that apparently is what is happening this time. So the book that I am reading is The Perfect Guests, and so far there's just this character, I think her name is Beth. It's in the 80s, 88 to be specific. Her parents are both dead, and she has an aunt that is supposed to be taking care of her, but she is not quite ready to have this girl live with her, so she has sent her to this like private foster home, I guess, for the summer, or until she feels that her house is ready for this girl to stay with her. And Beth is kind of feeling like, yeah, she just keeps putting me off. She has other priorities. Her work is more important. She travels a lot for work, blah, blah, blah. But the house that she is going to has some super fancy name. Hang on. Ravenhall. And there's a mom, a dad, and another girl who is her age. They are 14 or about to turn 14. So yeah, like young teenagers over the course of the summer. We'll see what happens. And I said in another video, but not in this one, that the book takes place in East Anglia, which is an area I visited over the summer, and that's like, in addition to the cover, that's the other reason why I was drawn to this book. Okay, so I think this book is going to be super fun. It is about in the high 200s, I think, page-wise, 284. So I obviously have to work today. Then I'm getting a massage. Then I would like to make soup for dinner because I have a whole bunch of peppers that I want to use up, and I thought that they would be really good in a soup. But anyway, so we'll see if I have time to finish this entire book today after work. But I'm to the next part. This is basically like a dual timeline, dual perspective sort of a book. And so our next character, who we're going to hear about throughout the book, is Sadie. Sadie's mom has just died. She's cleaning out her apartment. Her mom wants all her furniture donated to charity shops, or to a specific charity shop in particular. And Sadie is an actress, but she's just really struggling. She has like part-time gigs, but she's lost them recently. So she needs like another part-time gig, or even better, like an acting gig. And she just keeps going to tryouts, and they're just not, or auditions, sorry, not tryouts, auditions. They're just not working out for her. She is getting rejection after rejection after rejection. But she was invited, and this sounds kind of fun. Hang on, where is it? Okay, so this is like her agent or someone on the phone with her. But listen, I've got much better news, a fabulous job offer for you. It's a murder mystery company just starting up, and they want to act out a trial run of their game so they can take photos for their website. Glamorous costumes at a posh dinner party, that sort of thing. It's out in a big old mansion in the Fens, gorgeous looking place full of dark history. So Sadie is like, yes, heck yes, I'm in. It's only a weekend. It seems super easy, super fun, like atmosphere, and it will pay for like a few months rent just from one weekend. So she is in, and our story is beginning. Oh, and of course, you guys know that the house that she's going to is the exact same house that Beth lives in the 80s as a foster kid. Okay, you guys, it's lunchtime. Lately for lunch, I've been packing myself like an entire mixing bowl, and I eat an entire bag of salad. So, let's see, fiber is 2 grams times 3.5. So it's like over 21% of my daily fiber, and like 3.5 times all those vitamins too. Dang. Okay, I'm reading in my tent in the living room as a normal grown-up person does, and I am on Sadie's part of the story. So she is getting ready to go to Ravenhall, I think it's called, and yep, Ravenhall. And she was sent like a formal invitation and a suitcase filled with vintage clothes that she can choose from to basically decide what she's going to wear that weekend, what she's going to bring with her. But she is searching on the internet for more information about this house, and it says, abandoned and uncared for since a tragedy befell a local family in the late 1980s. And that is exactly when the other timeline is. So, it's getting good. Hey guys, it is Friday after school. This week has been a cluster, so I apologize. I'll share more when I'm able and when I know more and when I have the person's consent. But anyway, it's just been a busy week and a week filled with weird stuff, and so I have not like completed this vlog in the way I wanted to, which was like one vlog per book. I've basically read like 50 books and didn't even tell you about them. So Friday night, normally I arrive home, my apartment is spotless and I can just do whatever I want. Not this week. I need to put away groceries, put away laundry, and basically get my life sorted so that I can spend the rest of the weekend hanging out and chilling. So I thought you could join me as I like organize and get myself settled while also talking about the 50,000 books that I read and just kept a secret from you, apparently. Okay, first, the week started like almost 90 degrees, which is like, I think 30-ish Celsius. And now all of a sudden it's freezing and my tire pressure in my car like went low because the temperature outside is so cold and I like want to turn on my heat, but I'm refusing to. Anyway, on the way home from work, I made someone fill up my tires for me. And then I also picked up some groceries. I went to Aldi and I got as much as I could from there because it's cheaper and they have so much fall stuff. So I just thought I would show you the fall stuff that I got that I'm super excited about. So I don't really cook with recipes very often. It's just me. When I like have dinner or when I make dinner, it's usually something like, I'll just like do my whole like, what is it called? Like twice, it's not twice baked potatoes, but I'll do that potato thing where smashed potatoes, I think is what they're called. Like I'll do that, or I'll like have a salad, or like I just like throw stuff together and it's just a thing and it's not a real recipe. Anyway, so with that being said, I also eat frozen food a lot. So here are some things, and it's like pouring outside, so they're all wet. Beet and goat cheese flatbread, like this is for fall. Pumpkin and feta flatbread. So there's some veggies too that I got, and that would be like really good to have like flatbread and then some veggies, and then a ghost-shaped pizza, because how much more amazing can your life be if you have a goat-shaped pizza? Like, obviously, your life can't get any better. You have just, like, arrived. Okay, my mom called me, and now probably all my frozen food is not frozen anymore. Okay, raised cauliflower, which is garlic and herb flavor, is something else I got for, like, I don't know, garlic and herb. I was thinking kind of like Chinese food, but I don't know. I don't really know. Ooh, this would be good with Indian food, actually. Anyway, and then like as a side, maybe to some of the flatbreads, sweet potato blend and butternut squash blend. And I need to put these away because they're definitely not very frozen anymore. Giant grapes. My favorite part about fall is holiday grapes, but I do not know where to find them in Michigan. If anyone knows, let me know. Also, I got, not from Aldi, from a different store, a Ghost mug. And then, yeah, I'm not really showing you heavy whipping cream, but basically tonight I'm gonna make potato leek soup because I have like all this stuff. I just needed to pick up thyme and heavy whipping cream. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna make soup wise, but first I need to kind of clean up and put everything away. So okay, last Aldi purchase, soft cute socks that are like, they were like $1 I think per pair. These are like kind of just like cozy fall ones, little like woodland animals on them. And then these are men's, but like nobody cares, right? So there's like little bats and ghosts and things, and then scary pumpkin. So yeah, usually these like fashion socks are like super like stiff and thin, and yeah, but these are pretty soft. So Sarah just messaged me, so hang on again. Hey, okay, so I am going to like finish with the kitchen and make some soup and stuff like that. So I probably won't check in for a second, but I do want to show some other like just packaged snacks that are not seasonal, but then I'm beyond obsessed with. So when I went backpacking with my friend Colleen, I had these for the first time, and I don't know why I had them for the first time. I guess I don't like try a lot of new snacks, or I don't really snack that often. These Dots pretzels, like, have you had them? They're amazing. They're kind of like Gardettos or whatever, like just seasoned pretzels basically, that's all. But they were super on sale, so I got some. And basically I think I mentioned in the video that you're seeing right now, because I filmed this clip like a long time ago but haven't posted it, that I've been bringing like a packaged salad, and then I'll eat all of that, and then I'll have these as a treat at the end. And I think that helps because you get all the fiber in and then some of the carbs later. Like, you know, whatever, salad has carbs too. But anyway, so that's the original flavor, and then cinnamon sugar, Both of these I've had and are amazing. I haven't had these ones yet, and these are honey mustard. So we will see. But anyway, yeah, those are just good snacky foods. But mainly I try and have them after I am done eating, or like when I finish the main part of my meal, so that I'm not like, oh, they're really good. They're really addicting. I don't want to eat like tons of them, just like a little treat. Hello everyone, it's Saturday and I have not talked to you in a very long time for reasons, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that I am going to update you on about 50 trillion books that I've read since the last time we talked, so that's good. I am sipping some pumpkin spice tea from Bird and Blend from this cute little mug. The only problem is when I sip it, because I'm right-handed, you can't actually see how cute it is, but it's all good. Also, the curve of the edge is a bit weird. Anyway, so I read A House of Roots and Ruin, and that was the last book I talked to you about. And then I read The Inmate by Freida McFadden. It was horrible. I hated it. I think Jen Campbell recommended it, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I didn't like it at all. So, basically, it was about this woman whose mom recently died, so she moved back home to her childhood home to live with her son, who was 10 years old and would be starting a new school because they just moved back to this community. This, like, it had a small town feel to the community. And she had recently gotten a degree as a nurse practitioner, so she got a job at the prison as a nurse practitioner. And that was like drama because it turned out, first of all, that there was no doctor overseeing her. Like, there was a doctor, but they never saw him. So, like, was there actually a doctor? And the nurse that was overseeing her, like another nurse, was horrible and basically would make medical decisions that would like negatively impact the patients, and like just because they're prisoners doesn't mean that they can't have good health care. Like, they're humans first before they're prisoners. So that was annoying. The other thing that was lingering in the background was basically that she knew one of the prisoners, and that didn't make it through the hiring screening process. Like, they hired her anyway and maybe didn't even know about it. And so, yeah, not only did she know one of the prisoners, but she was the one who put that prisoner in prison, or that inmate in prison. So that is the whole gist of the story. Obviously, the person that she knows came in quite early on for treatment, so their paths crossed sooner than she hoped they would. And yeah, the story goes from there. The thing I hated, our main character, who I'm horrible with names. What's her name? Beth? I don't know. She made dumb ass decision after dumb decision, and like nobody would make this many dumb decisions. Like, she put herself at risk. She put her kid at risk. She did everything that people told her not to, and she just kept doing it, and she kept doing it, and I just hated it. So don't read that book unless you want to see someone making dumb decision after dumb decision and like you soak it up. Like, yeah, then you should read that book. The next book I read was A House with Good Bones. This is my first Kingfisher. This is my first Kingfisher. And I've heard that it's actually not everyone's favorite. But I have since read two, and this is definitely my favorite out of the two. So this tells the story of, again, I'm horrible with names, Sam. Sam comes home basically because she is, and I don't remember the name of it, but like an entomologist, archaeologist or something like that. She basically is present at digs and looks through like the food sources that are found and different artifacts and basically remains from previous human life and looks for bugs and like the casings of bugs, because that helps her learn a lot about how the people lived and also just about the bugs that were present. I don't really know. Anyway, a body was found at one of her digs, the dig that she was presently working on. So she is basically furloughed because they have to investigate that, and thus she can't work. So that was a really interesting reason why she couldn't work, like a really eerie reason, but that has nothing to do with the story. Like, basically, it's just why she's off work. So she goes home to be with her mom because it's a cheap place to live. Her brother said her mom's been acting kind of weird. And basically, her mom lives in this community where I would not call it a luxury community. Like, it's not like they don't have a homeowners association or anything like that. It's just kind of like a normal American community. And so this house is fairly new construction, excuse me, that her mom lives in. But like weird crap stuff is happening. Her mom is acting weird. Like her mom is super, super liberal, and she comes home and there's like a racist like portrait about the fireplace or something like that. And like her mom is like stopping her from swearing all the time, and like before her mom would swear herself or not care that her daughter swore. Like also her daughter is grown, but it's just like everything was just very weird. And yeah, it just gets super creepy, but also it's hilarious. Like there's so much in here that is just funny, and they're just like real quick little lines. It's not like it's funny like overall. It's just like little like scary little funny line, scary little funny line. And it wasn't like a laugh out loud, but it was like a slight chuckle here and there. So yeah, I really liked this book. I instantly went to the store the next day because I had to have it as part of my collection, and I loved it. So there's that. So anyway, I think that book would be considered like cozy horror maybe. Then I think the next day in the morning before work, I finished this book, which was The Perfect Guests. So this book I bought based on the cover. I thought it looked cool. The premise looked cool. And also it takes place in East Anglia, which is someplace I have been before. So anyway, it takes, here's the Beth. The other story did not have a Beth because this one has a Beth. So Beth is one of our narrators because it's dual, it appears dual narration, but there's actually 3 narrators. Anyway, Beth is one of our narrators, and her story takes place in 1988 or 87, 1988. And she is basically like a foster kid. Her parents have died. She now is supposed to be under the care of her aunt, but her aunt just cannot be bothered. She is really invested in her work. She travels a lot for work, and having a kid is just not in her agenda. So she ends up going to this other family to live with them for a while as like a private foster care situation. And the idea is that when her aunt is ready for her, she will go live with her aunt, which obviously we kind of know, like the aunt wants nothing to do with her. So, okay. So anyway, it starts off, I believe, in the summer. The home has a mom, a dad, and a girl her age named Nina. I knew it started with an N. They become really good friends. The house is old. It's creepy. It's huge. It has a name, Raven Hall. So perfect setting, right? And the girls just hang out together over the summer. They go to this lake and go boating. Like, they're just really independent and able to do whatever for the most part. But the creepy part is they are not allowed to go into town. They're not allowed to go to other people's houses. They're not allowed to go into town. They're basically prisoners at this home, but given loads of freedom at the home to just randomly go boating by themselves and stuff like that. So that's weird. And then in 2019, Sadie is an actress, and she's really struggling to find work as an actress. In addition, she had part-time jobs and she keeps losing them due to being fired or quitting or not liking them or whatever. And so she gets an invitation to basically be an actress for the weekend at a murder mystery dinner. Not a dinner party because it's for the whole weekend, but like a murder mystery weekend. And it's at the same house where a tragedy struck like in the 80s. And so like it's the same house, and like you're wondering now like what happened in the 80s, because who was there in the 80s, like what the heck happened. And so you're alternating basically between the stories, and then there's one unnamed narrator that periodically pops in throughout these narrations and is basically like back visiting the house and describing what they see in a super creepy way. And yeah, I really liked this. I would say like this almost would be 5 stars, but it's also like I don't often give like thrillers 5 stars because once you've read them, then there's not much that sticks with you. But I would say like maybe 4.75. Like I had so much fun reading this, and I want to read her other book, The Au Pair. Okay, so finishing up talking about The Perfect Guest, one book that it reminded me of is actually not a book, but it's a puzzle book. And I have not visited this in a long time, but when I have done it, I have loved it. And so I really do need to go back, especially in this season of like being cozy and all that sort of stuff. And it is a logic puzzle book called Montague Island Mysteries. And essentially your name is Taylor and you are doing the exact same thing as our character Sadie in the book. You are basically going to this home on an island a few weekends during the summer, and you are also in the same way working for people who design mysteries and design logic puzzles and plan like these murder mystery weekends, and you are basically helping them kind of go through some puzzles and actually participate in them so they can see like formative assessment, like do they work, do they not, what do we need to switch up. And so throughout this book you are solving like individual logic puzzles that are all connected to the story, which is cool. And then I think, I haven't gotten this far, but throughout the trip, I guess, you are figuring out why you are actually there as well. So another recommendation for something unrelated. Okay, then, as I said, because I read A House with Good Bones and loved it, I was like, oh, I'm going to get the one that everybody recommends and that thinks is way better. And that is What Moves the Dead. Now, cool cover. I did not love this. I think I gave it like 3 stars. Now, to be fair, I read it on a day when my mind was not present. So I think that I might need a reread, but I also think that I really enjoyed the woman around my age going back to her parents' house, having creepy things happen. I think I enjoyed that setting and that vibe more than this, which is about basically this friend who goes to his other friend's house. The friend is dying and the house is creepy as crap, but in a more earthy sort of way, I would say. And yeah, I just wasn't very into this, but again, it completely could have been timing, and more on that soon, hopefully. I want to get consent from the person that made my day crazy that day, and also get more information. And it wasn't the person's fault that my day went crazy. But anyway, yeah, more on that later. But I just wasn't in the mindset to read that. In addition, I read 2 books at school yesterday. One we had been reading for a while and only just finished, and that is The Watsons Go to Birmingham. That book is lovely. It is written by a man who lives in Michigan, and the story is essentially, first of all, hilarious, which is why you need to read it. But second of all, deals with a lot of issues of race and what it was like to be a kid in the 60s in Michigan. Basically, it's a story of like 2 brothers and a sister, but mainly 2 brothers. And this one brother has horrible behavior and is a hot mess. So the family decides that he is going to go to Alabama and live with his grandma for the summer to basically get his life back on track. And because it's like the 60s and Alabama is really far from Michigan, the family has never met their grandma. Like, the kids have never met her. So he is basically going to live with this super strict old lady that he's never met. And it's basically like kind of setting the scene for like how hot of a mess he is and why he needs to go there, and then the decision to go be with grandma, and then the road trip down to Alabama, and then what actually happens in Alabama, which ties significantly to historic events that were a super huge deal. And you are understanding those events and emotionally tied to the events because throughout the story you become emotionally tied to the characters, and also because you should be emotionally tied to that event anyway. But it was just like, oh, it is like a childhood classic, amazing for empathy, for history, and for like laughing out loud throughout the entire book. Like, the kids love it. Every year the kids love it. Then I read Garlic and the Vampire, which is a graphic novel that is so cozy, and the illustrations are full color and just like very cozy in the way they look as well. It is basically about all these vegetables that live together, and they see in the distance this house, and they realize that a vampire lives there. And so they're all figuring out what to do. And obviously Garlic is going to go because vampires don't like garlic, and she can be the one that can rid this house of this vampire. The only problem is Garlic has like mega anxiety and is not comfortable in her own skin, so to say, and is just not the vegetable who would like to do this. However, she does end up going, and what happens as a result is just so cozy and so heartwarming and so lovely, and it's just like the best story. So that's everything I've read so far. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books for Camp Crystal Lake. So today I'm leaving soon to go on a hike with my mom, and then I don't really have plans the rest of the day, so I'll just see what I feel like doing, but it will involve reading. So yeah, please just stay with me the rest of the day and we can hang out together.